Welcome back to Papa's Custom Cars. As you can see by the last few videos, we really need to get our lights back. The one that we were messing with before to try to figure out what was wrong with it, it's completely gone out now. And then right next to it, the light next to it, two of the bulbs of the three have gone out. So we need to get into this thing, take it apart, replace. I've got new, what they call tombstones to replace everything. I've got to just figure out how all these LEDs are wired. I've got 2 boxes of them, so I've got to make sure they're all wired the same. So we'll definitely need to light those up and see what we can do to figure out what we've got. First, we're going to start by shutting off the power to the lights. So while we're at it, there's a few things we're going to do besides fix these lights and get them all working right. When I first started doing the job, I bought these secondhand, and I bought the replacement tombstones and didn't replace them, and I should have then, and that's probably what half my problem is most of these lights are probably so old that they're just worn out. So if you're a sponsor, need a light guy, need to put lights in, here we go. Also, if you're a sponsor and need lights put in and know somebody who needs a bunch of LED bulbs, let me know. Anyway, back to it. So not only are we going to pull this apart, we're going to pull it down, we're going to rebuild the whole thing, and I'll show you how to do that and how to set it up for fluorescence, or I'm sorry, for LED. We're also going to wire in this power strip here, and this power strip is going to be used for all my lights, that all my signs, the LED signs that my kids have given me, my wife has given me, everybody's given me, and we can put them across here. We're going to run 2 sets. We're going to run this set here that's nothing but my lights, because they're all low voltage. I think they're all USB type plug-ins. And then the other side, we're going to run real power to it. Mainly because we need a place along the center of the garage here where we can just plug in up at the top. Something like, say you're running a trickle for your car or anything of that nature. This is a good place for it. So in order to do all this fun stuff, we've got a bunch of stuff on our table. We've got our coffee, the important thing. Wagos. We've got 2 different size Wagos, one for inside here, one for inside there. We've got a couple of boxes, of course, some lollipops that we got when we picked up our stuff from Lowe's. So we got a couple of covers, mainly because we don't know how we're going to wire from here over to there. I do have the wire already in the shed. I just have to go get it, and we'll do that once we figure out what we've got going on up there. And then we also have some other connectors for the box. Another one of the wireless switches. And the reason we're going to use a wireless switch is with these signs on the wall, I really don't want to run them all the time. You know, these are gifts from my family. I don't want them on just constantly. Like there's a couple of them in the garage right now that just run constant. So I want to be able to turn them on and off as we come in the garage, kind of like I do the whole other side of the garage. So we're going to wire in one of these, inside one of these boxes, we're going to have the Bluetooth switch, and we'll have the switch over here on the wall so you can turn them on and off as you please. So definitely we have some wiring to do, but the first thing we're going to have to do is get this light down and figure out what's going on with it. Which means we're going to have to figure out what LED bulbs we have up there, because we don't remember. And we have, like I said, we've got 2 boxes of them, and they might be different for all we know. So let's get to it. So before we pull the lights down, the first thing we need to do is determine what type of LED hookup we have. So I bought these as auctions, so I do not have a clue what they are. The nice thing about this box is it tells you on the side what it is. So these are made by Sunco out of Oklahoma City. They are 18 watt, and they tell you down here at the bottom, because the way they work, either they're powered from both sides, or one side, or you have to have the ballast, or you don't have to have a ballast. This particular one is a one-sided, it says single-ended, 120 volt, 4,000 cool white T8 tube LED. So that means it's powered from just one side. So let's pull one out, take a look-see at it. see what that means and if we can see which side's which. So it'll only be powered from one side, which I believe these are wired for both sides. I'm pretty sure. Well, maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. But anyway, when you take the bulb out, the way you know is one side of it. So the way I look at it, or the way I learned, was if they're single-sided, they're only powered from one side or the other. This one has them at both ends, so in this case, on one side you would just put the cap back on. Little plastic cap. We'll know for sure when we do a little bit of research, and as we get there I'll bring you back to it. But yeah, these are stated to be single-sided, and they are the Sunco bulb, and they do have the part number and everything on them. But yeah, they have these little plastic protectors on them. So I'm betting that, and we'll find out together if it's a fact that this stays on or comes off. We'll know in a minute. I can't imagine it staying on because this, I think, would get in the way. Most definitely would get in the way. So, I wonder how you figure out if it's one-sided or not. Well, I would imagine if you don't have power to one side or you have one side or the other, that's the side that's going to light the bulb. So we're going to do a little bit of research on this bulb so we can figure out which one it is and how to hook it up. And I'll be right back. Oh, there it is. Sitting here staring at the bulb. If you look inside the bulb, there is no wiring on this side at all. If you look at the bulb, there's absolutely zero wiring on this side at all, so this is the end that doesn't have anything. And when you flip it to the other side, this side, I don't know how well you can see it, but I'll bring it up, has wiring in it. See how you can see the little wires inside there? And then on this side, see how you can't see anything at all in there. Completely empty. So yeah, that tells you. So let's get this light fixture pulled off the ceiling and get this thing put together. And if you're going to do it, this is the easy way. Single-sided, because you only have to wire one side. You can get rid of all the rest of this wire. Like as you'll see on this particular bulb, there is wiring on both sides hanging down. And if you're doing single-sided, you only have to do one side of it. You can cut the rest of this wire out of here. Would I cut the rest of the wire out? Probably not. But I will write on this lamp, I will write somewhere on it so you can see it in permanent marker, single-sided, and I will point an arrow to the side that it's powered from. That'll help in the long run. Let's go ahead and cut the power and let's pull this light down. So the first thing we have to do is go ahead and pull the bulbs out. And we'll try to power this up. When we're all done fixing this one, we'll go ahead and try to power these bulbs up, see if they are any good, because the rest of the shop uses this type of bulb. And I have no idea how to tell if they're bad, besides the fact that they don't turn on. But it's kind of weird that they all shut off at the same time. Usually they don't do that. Usually, one will act up and the other one will still work. But in this particular case, within a week, all of them shut off. I can't imagine them all going bad at once, unless something went wrong. The other two sound kind of rattly. And I believe these are double-sided. Not that it matters anymore. And the next thing we want to do is go ahead and pull these covers off, because our screws are going to be holding it up, are going to be on both sides of it. The easy way to do this is take your fist and pound on it. I've already got the other one already off of here, so these are more to cover the metal, or to cover the wiring. Because we're going single-sided, we only have to go to one side, so that makes it real nice. This fixture down. First things first, let's disconnect our wiring. Way to know it's double-sided is you got wires that go to both sides as opposed to just one-sided. So it definitely allows you to clean this up a lot better, a lot more. Need to put a wire nut connector in that too. And here's our lamp. Everything's falling apart now. Let me move and make some space on my work table. There we go. Okay, so the way these basically work is power comes in, comes to a ballast that's usually located here in the center. This particular one had one, some might have two. It just depends on the layout of them. So you basically have your main power coming in, goes into the ballast at one end, and then it comes out both sides. Like here's your white and your black that usually go to your ballast. They come in to the ballast and then they go out to these what they call tombstones on the ends. When you convert to LED, there are two ways to do it. These are either double powered on both sides, and if you look at a tombstone here, we'll give you a breakdown of one. Notice that there's only one wire running to each one. So it's powered, comes through one side and then goes out the other. So as these are wired for LED, with this particular one, you may run one wire to the one side, one wire to the other, meaning the black to one side, the white to the other, and then that powers the LED from both sides. This particular one that I'm installing is only a one-sided unit, so we're just going to go from that end, and we're just going to go with one tombstone. These tombstones will basically be dormant. They won't be doing anything, so we don't have to mess with them at all. But the nice thing about it is we can cut this wiring all out of here, and that's the really nice thing about a one-sided, is you don't have to worry about the wiring running underneath through here, all this garbage, because this can cause problems later on. So let's get some wire cutters and remove all this junk. And again, like I said before, I should have replaced these back in the day, and I didn't, and that was my mistake. But basically, the nice thing about this system is this goes away completely. Now, the difference is you've got to get a tombstone that's run from both sides, if I remember right. Let me double check here real quick and grab my new tombstones. Because if not, we're going to have to get a different tombstone. That means we'll have to cap off the electricity and start all over again. Now, these tombstones, if you look, have double wires. So what that means is this is a single-sided tombstone, meaning it gets its power from one side and one side only. So it powers the LED from here. One side's white, one side's black, and that's it. It powers the light. Boom, you're done. This side is completely dormant. So we'll be replacing the tombstones with these. Now these are kind of nifty little buggers. You just kind of, I can remember how. They slide right in like so, and they lock in. If I can remember how to do this, we'll be in business. Oh, you know what? It's in. That's it. Boom. Done. Now I do want to bend this tab down a little bit because it is a little bit loose, so I might put a little bit of a bend in this one. Get it to grab a little better. Okay, so after messing with it for a little bit, we've determined that these Amazon ones will not work. They're nowhere near the same size as these others, nor do they fit in there as nicely as these do. So we want to find these, and we want to replace them. The reason we want to replace them is A, they're old, but B, yeah, that one we can't fix. That one is kind of toast. So we're going to need some. So we're going to hit the Lowe's website and see if we can find them, and if we can, we're going to run over and get them. So again, I'll be back. Okay, so ended up having to go to Lowe's to get them. They're like $6 a piece. So total cost $18 for 2 lights. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to go. So each one of these $18 will do 2 light sets. So I got $18, $18, and $18 to go. I'm gonna see if I can find them on Amazon. You know, the one guy was joking because the ones that I got were on Amazon. He goes, "Oh yeah, well, you know, all that stuff's made in China." And I'm sitting there looking at this package, and on the back of it, made in China. So odds are I can get these cheaper somewhere else, either Amazon or Temu or something like that. And, you know, if it's Temu or anything, it's going to have to wait, or, you know, I'll have to order them and they'll come in about, you know, a couple, 3 weeks. Not a hurry, because the only lights I'm really going to concentrate on are my main ones, which is kind of where I do all my video recording and all that fun stuff. So those have got to be done. So one of the nice things about these wires or these connectors is they have multiple inputs. So I have one input, one going out. So I'll be able to daisy chain everything together. And that way I'll have far less wires. I get to the end, I Wago the main into the group, and I'm done. 2 Wagos and some wires, and that's it. Now the Amazon stuff that I do have, it's going to be donating its wires, because I was going to go pick up some white and black wire to wire these. And I went back, there's $30 a roll, and that's not even a big roll, that's like 100 feet. Like, yeah, I'll just use what I have. And I've got some wire over there, but heck, I can't use these Amazon ones, so I might as well use the wiring from them. So here's what we're going to do. I'll probably put you down a little bit. I have to do everything here on my lap because that light's on my work table, so it is what it is. I'm not that worried about it. So let me tilt you down a little bit more. Okay, so the way these work is they're pretty much the same. The difference is there are 2 slots, and it goes into the top slot, not the bottom one. So when you put them in, they kind of go like this, and they lock in. Oops, top slot, not bottom slot. This one's kind of messed up, so it's going to take some work. But they lock in, and if you look, they're flush with the back like they should be. And that's where those other ones were sticking out. We tried trimming them and all that stuff. When you're working with electrical, just spend the extra bucks and do it right. You don't have to worry about it. So we're going to put these 3 in place, but I want to put the wiring on them first before I do that. So like I was saying, we can daisy chain these. So what I mean by that is we're going into our first one. Now remember, this sits like this, so our power is over on this side. So our very first one is going to be the one that goes into the Wago. And the way we're going to do it is quite simple. Go right into the second one there. So that's going to go our Wago out to our power, and that's going to go right there. And then our black goes to the other side. Same thing, like I said, there's 4 of them here. You just push the wire in. Oh, missed. Get to the other side. And it pushes in just like the other one did. And boom, good to go there. Then we come out with a black and a white wire. Well, it's nice if we don't have to use all those Wagos, so that makes it easy. So then we go to our white, same thing, that's a little bit long, so let's go ahead and put that back. Put that much there. The other end, put it off that too. Okay. And we're going to start daisy chaining. We'll push that in there, locks in. Grab our black. Take a little bit off that, because that's awfully long. Other side, look good. So put that one in there, just like so. And you'll feel it when you push it in, it locks. You can feel it lock in place, so good to go. Now these 2 separate out because those are going to go to the power. And put our tombstone in and bring our next one in here. So we grab our next one, and again we go to each side. Try to keep them uniform, like we're going to have white on this side. So we want to keep white on this side, black on this side, and that way they're kind of the same the whole way. Get just kind of slide right in and lock right on, nice and flat. Works well when you have the right parts. And this one will go here, so we need another black and another white. Then we need our third one. And yeah, only 2 come to a package because most fluorescent lamps are two bulbs. Mine are all 3 and 4, so I got them at an auction. I think I got like, I think there were 40 of them all together. They had upgraded all their lighting to, it was a spool. They'd upgraded all their lighting to LED, so they went out and spent all that money on all new LED lights, and I brought these home and I made them into LED lights. Again, we go into the black side, drop down, white one on the other side. So basically, if you look at it, it's just going to be daisy, just like that. And then that makes it real simple, because once this is connected, we're done. And this one, now again, keeping the colors to the same. So white's on the far side, which is here. So boom, that's it. It's done. It's wired for LED. And again, this is single-sided. If it was double-sided, you have to run wires to the other side and do the same thing. Generally, you wouldn't run 2 wires, you would only run 1. But it's kind of nice when you put these together, they click in like they're supposed to. What a surprise. Then the only other thing you got to be careful of is to make sure you put the power side on this one side. So the way you can tell, I said, is just look inside that bulb and you can see the hot side. So that's it. We are all set. This definitely makes a nice clean installation. Everything is tucked up under here like it should be. The Wagos come out and go directly to the power, so these are ready to go back in. So let's go put them in and let's cross our fingers and hope this is the problem. That one tombstone was broken, so I'm betting that started the problem. So let's move over here and let's get this thing put together. Now everything should go together right. Get this stuff out of my way. So as I was saying, now this nice clean installation, you don't have all that stuff hanging down there. And then remember that our power comes in right through here, so this is the perfect spot for our Wagos to connect to the power. We're probably going to end up bringing the power in a little farther and go from there, but we can definitely put it here for now, and we can get this in place. So we just push it down into the little slots. I wonder how tweaked this thing is. And that one's in, and that one's in, and then we push down. Oop. Come on. There it goes. And there it goes. Ta-da! And we're locked in place, and all we have left is our Wagos. We can leave them here because our power is going to come in this direction, and the covers will hide that, so that's okay. Now we want to put some bulbs in, and we want to test this thing out. So let's grab some bulbs and I'll show you how to test it. Do not try this at home, and you'll see why in a minute. So again, we have our wires on this end of the bulb, so you want to put this end this way. Pull your little end covers off. The other end just basically holds them in place. So this one comes in through here, and then locks in place, just like so. Both LED lights facing down. So let's grab 2 more and just kind of buy. Whoops. May not knock you around so much. You guys are going to love the way I test these. And remember, you're playing with electricity here. Don't mess around with it. Again, no light, no power wires down here. Now we can't put our covers on yet because, if I remember right, well, maybe not. See, we can't leave our bulbs in. We have to take them back out because our screw holes are right underneath these bulbs. But at least we can test everything, make sure everything's working, and then put them up in place. And what's nice about this setup is you get a really nice, clean look. You don't have all those wires and stuff you got to deal with. Again, coming in. Whoop. Make sure your wires are on that end. So it's sideways. Plug them in there, plug it in there, and twist and lock. Okay, so our wires are in. Now for the fun part. Okay, we are going to make power cable. They say this ain't the best way in the world to do it, but if you're going to do it safe. Have someone do it that knows what the heck they're doing. Don't try this stuff at home with it when you don't know. But if you were going to wire it so that it's a plug-in type of light, this is how you would do it. Oops, that didn't work well. Let me try backing that up a little bit. Try that again. But I had it all the way down. The easy way to do it, turn your power strip off. It's going to get dark for a second here. Hang tight with me because I don't want to power it while it's powered. Let's see if that makes any sense. I'm going to go to the one that's got a ground. Okay. Whoop. Voila, we have light, and we have a lot of it. So again, woo, that is bright. So that is how you do a single-sided. And like I said, you can see the wire in there right now because this lit up well, and there is nothing on the other side. So yeah, we're all set. Now we can go back up with it. We are going to probably put the diffuser and everything back on it again because boy is it bright. Okay, now we need to hook the power in and hook up our ground. Looks like we hit it right on the money on the side with the hole. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, we need to pull our wire nut off of here. I'm going to pull these wire nuts off. It's not live anymore. This is definitely a better way to do it. And we've got our ground connected. It's on a slot. So now we just put up our partitions, or trim pieces, I guess they'd be. These are always fun to put on too. And these hook in kind of the same. You got little clips that hang down. Oh, too high. Get back off one. And you hook them on the one side. Got to get it in there first. I always put them both up there. That way they're ready to go. And you don't have to finagle so much. Because they can be difficult once everything's put together. Ugh. Wants to fight me because I'm backwards. Let's get her on this side first. We'll move from the middle out. All right, let's see if we've got light. We should. We tested it. Everything should be good. And we hope. Let's just leave it at that. Ta-da! We have light again. Go ahead and turn off our background lights. It's kind of nice being able to see again, huh, Bully? A little bit brighter than it's supposed to be, but other than that, everything looks good. The only thing we got left to do is put the diffuser on it, and that'll help sort this really, really bright light. It'll tone it down quite a bit. Really good at diffusing the light. As I was saying, this is the important section because this is where I do most of my yakking. So as you can see, without the diffuser, we're getting the lines in there. Once the diffuser is on and I get the cameras all reset back to the way they were before, the pulsing will go away. What it's doing is it's actually picking up the pulses of the LED. It's kind of neat because with our eyes we can't see it, but the camera can see it plain as day. And like I say, it's one of those things where as soon as the diffusers are on, it'll tone it down and you won't see it as bad, and then I'll adjust the cameras. I'll adjust the camera lens so that it kind of filters it out a lot more so you don't see everything that you're seeing right now. But with that, that's pretty much how you make regular fluorescent lights into LED lights. Again, you're going to have to pay attention to whether they're one-sided or two-sided. Two-sided, you got to hook up both sides. This is the way to go. I've done the rest of the lights in the garage are all both sides. This is nice because it's a clean installation. There's one set of wires on one side. It's all hidden under there. And then the only thing you got in the center channels is that actual power wire coming in from the box and hook it into your lines, and that's it. You got nothing else running across. You saw that wiring mess we had when we took it all apart. Now we don't have that wiring mess. With that, I think I'm going to call it a night. We went out, we had some dinner. It's probably past my bedtime. It's probably 6. Oh yeah, it's 6 o'clock. The big one's over here standing by the door trying to tell me it's bedtime, because he's as bad as everybody else in the house. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday. We got the one light done. I did put the diffuser up. I found the little part when I was bringing the diffuser back in from the set. It fell out of it. So putting it up, I had to completely reconstruct it because where the clip was on the unit, it was hung up and wouldn't move. And then the other clip, the release for it, was jammed and it wouldn't release at all. So I had a very hard time putting it back up. So I brought it back down, straightened everything out, and put it back up. So now on this next one, I'm going to do it while it's still up there. So that means I can build my wiring here, have it ready to go, and then as soon as I get this pulled apart up there, I pull out the bulbs, pull out all the stuff, pull out the electrical wiring, and I'm ready to go. Let me turn on the one that I have and I'll show you what it's like. Okay, the only thing I still need to do is adjust the camera so that it doesn't pick up the squiggly lines. Like if I move back a little bit, you see those little squiggly lines? That's caused by the actual lights and the camera picking up the movement. So let me see if I can fix that. I think I've got everything set to automatic. Let me go into the menu real quick. So it will not let me go into the menu right now to fix it because I am recording. But as you can see, the diffusers help spread the light quite a bit. It doesn't make it so straight on you. If you're going to put lights, depending upon what you're doing, there are two different types. There are the type like this, which are just full-on LED, no filter, no fog, no nothing. And then you've got the soft ones, just like you do home bulbs. And if you're going to use them in the house, go with soft. Don't go with this type. This type's great for the shop because it lights it up really, really well. When all of these lights are on in here, it's like daytime. So it makes it real easy. Like if you're painting or anything like that, you can see every detail from every single angle. So this does help. So today I'm going to build this. I'm going to build the little daisy chain of tombstones. I'm not going to drag you through that, and then I'm going to put you on fast forward through the the work on this light unless I run into something different, but it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to go from the one side, I'm going to cut all the rest of the wiring out, be done with it, don't need it anymore, and then we're going to completely rebuild that light. So we'll have the main lights here in the main area that I work in done, and the other set I just need to put in some bulbs because when I first built this whole thing and put these bulbs in, I didn't have enough bulbs to do everything. So I just lit this area up fully, and then I took one bulb out of every single one of them, and then I've got one fixture that doesn't have any bulbs at all. So I want to go ahead and add bulbs to it, but right now with all the cars in the garage, that being 30 degrees outside, I'm not pulling anything out because I got to open my door to do that. But all that cold air in, we all know that. So let's get to it. I'll just run you through, like I said, I'll run you through this thing in time lapse so you don't have to sit and watch the whole thing again. But you'll get to see the difference between doing it up on the ceiling and doing it down here on the floor. It was way easier down on the floor. It's just the hard part of bringing it up and down. Up there, I don't have to disconnect much. I do need to put one of these in the end. It's the lock for the wiring. There is no lock in this one. A lot of the wiring, as I'm going through, I'm fixing it. There was never wiring like this before, so to shield it, it was just all basically Romex hanging all over the place. So I had to fix that. So anyway, let's get to it. So then same on this one. You can see it's got two bulbs out. We're going to go ahead and rewire this one anyway. If you look directly above me, you see how bright this is. And with the diffusers, you don't have that light just blasting on you. It's kind of diffused around. It's kind of a nice setup. And for the shop, it works great, especially for this area. I do have studio lighting behind me and in front of me, but for the most part, I don't even have to run it when these lights are all working. So let's get to taking that thing out. So a few things happened. Forgot to turn on the camera and record it. 2, went to take this down and realized we had just put it up temporarily with drywall screws. So we do need to, I got to put some anchors up in there. But what that means is it'll be easier because we'll be able to take this thing apart down here on the floor instead of having to do it up there. So it makes it a lot easier. So come see, come saw. Okay, that side we don't have to do anything with. Let me get a rag. Here it is. While I'm in here, I'm going to wipe it down because it's pretty dirty. Like I said, when we got into the garage, there were like 2 light bulbs in here, so we needed light, and we needed light quick. Didn't have any anchors or anything. We had just come in, so this is one of the ones we threw up right away and never went back and fixed. You all know how it works. Sometimes you just get busy and forget about stuff. Okay, so this is the end we're working with, same as we did with the other one. We've got our part already built, so all we have to do is pull it apart. Try to save the tombstones because if we can reuse them down the road here, it will make it a lot cheaper in the long run. There she is right there. So then all we have to do is pop these loose. So with that, make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions on this, definitely leave a comment in. Electricians, yeah, I'm not an electrician. I don't profess to be, so get someone professional to help you. That way you do it right. I've messed with it before. Make sure you're shutting the power completely off. Don't play any games with electricity. It can kill you. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit or a whole lot of it. It's not what do they say? It's not the voltage that kills you, it's the amps. So again, with that, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.